Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome again to our monthly session of our MEA-FCS Q&A session for small business owners. I am joined today with Taisha Smith, the Community Development Officer from Citizens National Bank in Meridian, and also Fran Brock, our Extension Agent from Starkville. I am Kimberly Gowdy, Extension Agent from Meridian, and we're going to talk to you all today about the importance of financial literacy and budgeting within our households, and also budgeting for those small business owners that are opening up and starting their new future endeavors. So we'll go ahead and get started. Ladies, because we are still dealing with COVID is still here, woo, that elephant in the room. But I have noticed a significant increase of small businesses popping up within communities. Have you, Taisha, seen an increase of people coming in, acquiring and wanting more information about how to start out as a small business?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think with COVID during this time, people are having more time to sit at home and to kind of think of ways to generate income. So people are now doing the online businesses with clothing and those type things. Also, people inquire a lot of times about small businesses now during this time. So I believe that COVID has given people an opportunity to get their wheels turning to kind of see what else they can do in order to generate that income during this time.
Okay, Fred, have you noticed in your community a lot of different businesses and small business owners coming to you for guidance and direction?
Yes, I have. Since the Extension Service offers the Serve Safe exam, I've seen a lot of new people coming in about food trucks and about their own catering company. And one of the things they want to open their own business, but as far as food wise and food safety. So the first step is to take the Serve Safe, and then next, after they pass the Serve Safe, they want to know more about opening a small business.
I know we have seen where social media is a big thing now, and you'll see people on social media post um, stuff that they've cooked, and we've all heard we may have a great dish that we can fix, and people are like, oh girl, you need to sell it, you need to sell it. Well, people have to realize there are procedures and protocols and food safety tests and things of that nature that you need to take in order to make sure you go about those steps. Taisha, do you know what are some of the steps people need to do as far as trying to establish the business credit within to get a small business?
Absolutely, absolutely. First and foremost, I think you need to, of course, if you're looking to open up your own small business, get you a good professional name for your business, generate a tax ID number. If you're going to do sole proprietorship or if you're going to do LLC, those type of things, get all of that squared away. Also, open that business account. Start that business account. Get you a personal banker. Go to that financial institution of your choice. Citizens National is a good place to come to start your business account. So let me just throw that in. So come and get some information or get in contact with a lender or just a personal banker, and they can guide you through the steps that you need to get that business account open and establish that relationship. Once you establish that relationship, then I believe you're on the first steps to beginning to start your small business. Of course, there's other things that come into play, such as a business plan. Those are some things that you'll want to have in place. A business plan to me serves as your blueprint for your small business. So things of that nature. But to get you on the first steps, start that relationship with that financial institution, with your personal banker to get you on the right track to starting your small business.
Oh wow, it's so many great points that you mentioned. I wish my brain could retain it and I could ask what I could. Okay, so you mentioned a good point about the importance of a business plan. When you set your business plan, should it be, say, a 6 month or a year, or how should you timeline that?
Well, your business plan is going to be ever changing because as you grow, your business plan is going to change. You're going to want to revisit it as your business grows. But all small businesses, I believe, need a business plan. It's going to, especially if you're looking at, any small business loans or or anything of that nature. So you definitely will, but it does serve as a blueprint. And yes, it will change as your business expand, as your business grows, as you begin to, encounter more customers or, everything, so it will change. So you would want to revisit it. I wouldn't give a specific number, but you may want to revisit it every 6 months just to see your progression.
Fran, and I know you do a lot of work in your community with financial literacy.
Yes.
Have you heard any concerns of people that are interested in pursuing their own business? Are there any, I guess some concerns that they may kind of enter into, that they sought you for advice or advisement rather?
I would say, I guess, failure of the business. They don't want to start a business and then, the business doesn't make it. A lot of people inquire about a LLC as far as, and I'm sure Taisha can, go further on this, the difference between an LLC and just not having an LLC. Can you tell more about that or something?
Well, I'm not an expert in regards to, but I will say when it comes to a sole proprietor and an LLC, a sole proprietor, of course, is you owning the business as an individual, but an LLC actually, I think it separates.
Well, I can tell you what I tell them.
Okay.
I always tell them that an LLC protects their personal finances.
Absolutely.
An LLC is like that barrier between, if you're getting sued, God forbid, but if you're getting sued, they can't take your personal finances from you. It's all about the business. Is that correct?
It does separate your personal from your business, which would be beneficial for you to do an LLC. Or the LLC separates your business from your personal. Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
All right. Let me ask you one question, Taisha. We do a lot of in the extension office, we do a lot of family finances and personal finance, teaching how to budget and how to save and things like that. And I always tell the people who wants to own a business that in order to have a successful business, your personal finances need to be in order also.
Absolutely.
So you need to know how to do a budget, like your own personal budget, your monthly budget, because in order to run a business, which incorporates so many things or whatever, if you can't run your personal finances, chances are you could not run your business finances. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I do. Budgeting is going to be, whether it's business or personal, budgeting is going to be the most important thing to me in regards, because again, if you can't handle your own finances, then you're not going to be able to handle your business finances either. But in order to establish and to build that good credit that you're so needing, even for your personal life and for your business, budgeting has to be the key. Because 50% of your, to me, budgeting is going to be consistency and discipline. So you're going to, you're definitely going to need to do that. When it comes to building credit, 35% of your credit is based on how you pay your bills. So budgeting first and foremost is going to be very important to paying your bills. If you can't budget your money, then it's going to be hard for you to pay your bills on time and consistently.
That is so true. I agree with that.
Because, friend, you mentioned, and also Taisha, you mentioned earlier the concerns of COVID, and a lot of small business owners are dealing with possible, shutdowns, staff, things of that, lack of staff, things of that nature. So a lot of that those burdens are already there, but with COVID, it seemed as though it has increased. So now you're seeing a lot of small businesses that were so successful pre-COVID are now struggling, during COVID because of those reasons. Taisha, I have two questions. Because of the uncertainty that a lot of people are going through, do you suggest them to have a significant, large savings set up to kind of offset some of those expenses that they weren't, anticipating to occur? Also, that's question number one. Also, question number two, what is a target interest rate that people are like, oh, you really want to, this is the rate you really want to get, things of that nature, to be able to apply for a loan?
Well, I will say in regards to the savings amount, the general rule of thumb is having at least 6 months of your income saved. Okay. But of course, during COVID, it's kind of hard to save anything, if you can. So you during this time, you want to save as much as you possibly can. Again, the rule of thumb is 6 months um, of your income saved. But if you can save anything, you want to try to save in order to have anything for a rainy day. Now, when it comes to interest rates, of course, your interest rates are going to be determined on your credit score. So that goes back to building that credit and making sure.
Which let me cut you off real quick. What is a target credit score? Don't hurt my feelings now. Don't.
Well, you want to stay up at least, I'm going to say, I would say the safe around a 640. 640 or better. Okay. Uh, is a
Now,
target.
is this for getting a business loan or just to build your own credit?
A rule of thumb in general.
Okay.
For of course, the better your credit is, the better
the better your interest rate.
But you don't want to aim for a 625. You want to try to go to a good median, which would probably be a 640. I'm going to say, which would get you a fairly decent interest rate. You know what I mean? So that would be my opinion in regards.
Okay. Okay. How long is the loan process for small business owners and applying for a small business loan?
Now you can't really put a length of time
Timeline.
On a business loan. It's going to determine a lot of things. It's going to be determined by how quickly you get all of the information that's needed. It's going to be also determined by how busy it is for the lenders during this time, with small business loans. So, I would just say, put your seatbelt on and be patient. It can sometimes be a lengthy process. It just kind of depends.
Friend, have you talked to any small business owners? Have they been, pretty successful throughout COVID and in their planning process to kind of, I guess, offset some of these levels of uncertainty that may, be in the near future? Are they doing faring pretty well there?
Fairly well. Majority of the small business owners that I know, they have full-time jobs. So their small business is an at-home business. They know that they're not at the point right now that they can quit their full-time jobs. So as of right now, and with social media is a free advertisement, so it's like you can get a lot out over social media, whereas before, you had to put it in the newspaper and magazines, TV and things like that. Now you can have social media, so they get a lot of free advertisement that way, which helps their business, and it reaches so many more people than the average TV commercial, because the TV commercial is only in this area or that area. Social media is all over the world. So as far as social media, and with COVID and everybody being at home, and during COVID, they said that a lot of online shopping shot up during COVID, and I know I'm one of the reasons why, but but that's one thing that's helped them during this time. COVID is, like you said, it's the elephant in the room, and it's devastating and everything. But as far as like I think some small business owners, succeeded during COVID because of that, because everybody was at home, and because of like the social media presence and things like that.
Taisha, do you think that with COVID still continuing, that the government will continuously help those small business owners by kind of either just adding additional resources, financial resources, other tools and resources that they can be able to utilize within their business? With COVID still occurring, do you think the government will continue to help in that matter?
Actually, I'm most certain that they are. There are things out there that the government have put in place to help small businesses. So so definitely, any small business owners should go out and review the options that the government have put in place for them during this time to help them get ahead. Yes.
Okay. Do you have a lot of people that come in that have an idea and it's such an extravagant idea, you have to kind of wheel them in based on just reality, I guess, what they can be able to afford, what they can be able to do? Because a lot of people will come up and be like, well, I want to do this because my auntie said I make the best sweet potato pie, and Lord knows she says it's the best thing happening, so I know I can do this. But I'm saying so many people have so many, ideas and excited, and you have to be the person to kind of rein them back in. Have you encountered any of those experiences?
I have not encountered any of those experiences. Now, someone else may have, but no, I have not encountered it. No, ma'am.
Friend, have you had any of those encounters?
I haven't, but one thing I tell people, like if they want to start, know your clientele.
Yeah.
Know what your clientele is willing to pay. Just because you are a small business owner and you think that your product is the greatest product on earth, that does not mean
potato pie.
No. Right. That does not mean that everybody is going to think that your product is the best. So you have to know your clientele. Know your customers. Also, look at businesses similar to your business. Look at what their price points are, and then base your price point off of that price point when you're starting out. Now, once you get into the groove of things and you're seeing that this business is successful, do what you do. Do whatever you want to raise your prices, you can do that. But in order to start off, and I hate to sound so grim or whatever, but you have to start off small. You can't start off big, But in order to make your business successful, you need to start off small, and you need to know what you're offering. You have to be able to you have to live and breathe this business. This is your business. You want it to be successful. You have to know everything about that or whatever. So that's
where that business plan comes into play.
Exactly.
Blueprint for your business.
Yes. And I think as well, because the extension agents, we have to be able to, especially with us working with the community, we get so many phone calls, and they're varying topics of phone calls, that we have to be able to set our clientele on an attainable goal. They can think they can, want the moon, stars, and the mountains, but we have to be like, what do you have in place now? And we'll build on that. Because the thing is, especially about small business owners, there's so much added pressure to maintain, to keep sustainability within the community. And therefore, if you're, tackling a mountain such as COVID, and you don't have a business plan in place to how to go about doing that, of course, you're going to get frustrated, disgusted, disheartened. And of course, that business will eventually, decline. It will eventually close out. So I think as extension agents and as you as a banker, you have to be able to kind of get our clientele within attainable goals that are measurable for them to be able to accomplish, and not set them up too high, but make sure it's something that they can work towards.
I'd like to call them realistic goals.
Yes.
Very much so. Yes. And Taisha, I had one client ask, and it was, does he need a business plan to get a loan? I'm like, yes, I think every business need a business plan. Can you talk about why a business plan is important, and like what goes into a business, like the small things that go? I know a business plan can be elaborate, big or small, but can you talk about that? Like why it's important, and like what goes into a business plan?
Sure. A business plan doesn't have to be something just really big and extravagant. It's just really what your plans are for the business. How do you plan to generate the income for your business? Even your target market for your business. So it doesn't have to necessarily be something just so huge. There are places that can help you to create your business plans. They're for no charge. They could, you could go and they can help you, create a business plan. But it doesn't necessarily have to be something so big. It can be something, just something on paper as to how you to generate money for you, what your target is? What would you be selling? Just, things of that nature, just to kind of get your small business started.
Mm. And I have one last question. As far as like when you're a small business owner and you have, I think they're called, like Quicken. What are those called? Money, like Quicken to keep your finances with the business. Do you think that's a good idea, or do you think a small business need that some kind of program to help them keep track of their?
Oh, gotcha. I understand what you're saying. You're talking about like QuickBooks.
QuickBooks, yes.
Gotcha. So, if in fact you like using those kind of programs to help you budget your money, they can be very useful. For a small business, I don't really think that you're going to need that right off. But yeah, Quickens, things of that nature, they can be very useful to you. Once you start to build your clientele and your income begins to grow, those things can be resourceful for you.
Okay.
I know, and you brought up a point earlier. It's all about the relationship as well with your bank. I know as a small business owner, you go in and you know what you want to do and you're good at what you do, but the whole facade about just the money aspect of it can be so overwhelming. So therefore, as small business owners, they want to be able to go to a bank that they actually know the person. They feel that the person is, genuine and really wants to help them out. So I personally feel that's also, you mentioned earlier, that's an important thing to be able to have, because the thing is, if I know that my bank officer is there to support me, is there to help me and tell me all the ins and outs, and I'm a continually bank with them. So that's very important. So
we have personal bankers here. We have relationship bankers here that can lead or guide our customers down the right path. And you can trust our personal bankers and our relationship bankers. And I think they do a phenomenal job. So it is very important that you develop that relationship with that banker, because the better the relationship you develop, the more trust our customers will put into us. So to lead them in the right direction, which would definitely, again, help with that, building that rapport and that credit with that financial institution as well.
Okay. Ladies, was there anything else that we kind of left? I mean, this topic is so broad, so we could talk on, but we wanted to just be able to kind of touch on some of the highlights of what small business owners, and I think we pretty much have been able to manage that. Is there anything else you think we kind of left out on the table that a small business owner may need to know right now?
I can't think of anything.
I think we've covered it.
Okay. Taisha, is there a Citizens Bank throughout the state? Because in case there's someone listening that may be interested in trying to locate a office.
Absolutely. We do have a Citizens National throughout the state of Mississippi. We have the Jackson region. We have it here, of course, in the Meridian region, Columbus, DeSoto area, Waynesboro, Laurel. So we have several locations: Philadelphia, Kosciuszko, Ridgeland. There's several. And our website is, of course, yourcnb.com. You can go there and search our where our locations are, and of course we'll be happy to help in any way that we can. It'll be our pleasure.
Fran?
I don't have anything.
Look, there is a Fran and Kim in every office, not look exactly like us, but there's an extension office in all 82 counties for our clientele. So if anyone's watching and wants some additional information on budgeting and financing and money management, please feel free to reach out to your local extension office. Again, Fran is located in the Starkville area, and I'm located in the Meridian area. And Taisha gave you the information for the Citizen National banks that are situated throughout the state that you can visit and find more additional information and resources for your banking needs. Well, all right, ladies.
Let me just throw this in there. If they don't want to come to visit the extension office, they can visit our website at www.extension.mstate.edu. And we have a thing. If you want to just start small with a budget, we have a budget plan on there, and we have a budget game on there, and We have several publications on budgeting and savings and credit and things like that. So check us out.
All right, great. All right, ladies. Well, thank you all for serving as panels in this particular topic that we covered for our Thursday Q&A MAFCS session. I look forward to hopefully having these again in the near future. But again, please feel free to visit your local extension office, also on Facebook and our website as well, and also visit your local City National Bank as well for those financial resources that are for you all to be able to indulge in do. So thank you all and have a great day. See you all soon.
Thank you.
Have a good one.